We're taking rose cuttings today on Pots and Trowels, and that's brought to you with the support of King Seeds and Cobra Garden. Hello and welcome to Pots and Trowels. Well, I'm going to be doing a bit of propagation today, taking some cuttings, and we're doing it with a rose. And although when you buy a rose from a nursery or a garden centre, it's usually been budded, where they take a bud off a variety and put it onto a rootstock, you can actually root most roses quite successfully from cuttings. And the time that I normally do it is sort of through late July up until about mid to late September. So quite a large window of opportunity. And the one I'm going to take a few cuttings off is this one here. Now, this rose was growing here around the base of this old robinia tree when we moved here almost 3 years ago. It blooms profusely in early summer. It makes this huge mound. This is one rose here. And I've been trying to find out what the name was, and I think this year I've managed, because when we were at Hampton Court Flower Show a few weeks ago, we went and had a chat with Peter Beale's Roses from Norfolk. They had a rose on their stand, which I'm 99% sure is this. It's not a very sexy name, it's called Perennial Blue. It's actually a pink, a deep bluey pink flower, and you can see from these old flower heads here, it has lots of flowers. Each one of these little seed heads was a flower. And I'm going to take some cuttings off it. It is actually a modern rambler, so it just flowers the once, but it makes then these long shoots. So if you want to take some rose cuttings, what you need is this season's growth. It doesn't matter if it's flowered. In fact, it will probably have the old flower on the top of the stem. So something like this in the case of this one here. So what I've got here is a few. I'm going to take them over to the bench. I'll show you how to prepare them and hopefully get them to root. Right, so we've got here our cutting material now, and they are really, really easy to prepare, these sort of cuttings. So what I'm going to do is, first of all, with this one here, I'm going to cut off the old flower spray there, so we can get rid of that completely. And what we do with all sorts of cuttings is, if we're making a stem cutting like this, I'm going to cut it above a leaf here, so we can see there's the stem, and cut that just above a leaf, like that. And then length doesn't really matter too much, but I normally like them roughly the length of a pair of secateurs, but it's not an exact science. So I'm going to cut that just below a leaf there. If I take that one off, we can see with a leaf there, this is what we call the leaf node or here, and we're just going to cut it just below it, a nice clean cut. It's as simple as that. So that essentially is the cutting, and then the leaves of roses just peel off or snap off quite simply like that. And we're going to leave 1 or 2 rose leaves on the top, no more than that. If they're big leaves, and this has got quite a lot of leaflets, you can actually just reduce them a little bit, because what we want to do is reduce moisture loss from the leaf before it's made some roots at the base. So I'm going to prepare a couple of those, and then I'll show you what we're going to do with them. So there we have it. We've got a pot of compost and our prepared cuttings. So I've prepared 4 cuttings just here, and I've got myself a plant pot. You need one that's reasonably deep, and I've got in there a multi-purpose compost with a little bit of added perlite just to sort of help with the aeration around them. And with taking cuttings at this time of the year, the stems are fairly woody. They're not completely woody as they would be in the winter, but they're not soft and sappy. So that means that they again won't dry out too quickly. And we don't need any hormone or anything on the bottom. Literally all I'm going to do is push them in. So we've got about 1/3 to 1/2 of the cutting below the compost level. So it really is as simple as this. Just push them in. 4 is adequate for a pot of this size, like that. Just make sure they're firmed in and they won't rock around. Obviously, put a label in if you want to remember what the name of it is. And then what I'm going to do, just pop them on the floor and just give them a good drink. So this is just water, there's no feed or anything in. I'm just giving that a drink so that the compost is moist, and obviously it will drain down through the pot, so it's moist all the way down to the bottom. I will let that drain, and then what we need to do is put that somewhere shady. Certainly not in a greenhouse, it's going to be too hot. These cuttings are going to take several months to root. It will be in the autumn that they root, so we don't want to put them anywhere they're going to dehydrate and frizzle. So ideally what I'm going to do with these is put them somewhere shady against a north facing wall, and just keep an eye on them and make sure that the compost is moist. And then hopefully what will happen, out of this pot of 4 cuttings, at least 2 or hopefully 3, maybe all 4 will root, and then I've got some new plants next year for free that we can pot up and grow on, or you can even plant them straight out into the garden. So it's worth a go. If you've got some roses that you like and you want to spread them to friends and family, take a few cuttings. Well, thank you for watching Pots and Trowels, and remember, you can find all the videos that we've done in the past on YouTube, where of course you can subscribe for free. We'll be back again next week where we're going to be having a look at late flowering perennials, so we'll see you then. Bye.